virtuous, individual, black excellence. Centuries ago, melanated people were known as royalty. Later down the timeline, we were taken out of Africa, put on ships to travel into unknown territory and become enslaved. Captured, mistreated, refused to be seen as virtuous, individual, black excellence. It's time to gain our reputation back. It's time to continue the dreams of Mansa Musa and Cleopatra, who defined royalty, wealth, and power in Africa. But most importantly, we will complete the dreams that God has for us. We will reign in victory. Y'all ready to V.I.B.E? Because I am. Come on, let's talk with me, your favorite host, Paris Hawk. Let's vibe, baby. Bonjour, it's me, your girl Patty, and this is Let's Talk with Paris Hawk V.I.B.E, the show where every week one of you melanated, virtuous, individual, black, excellent kings and queens are showcased every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I am super excited because this is episode 3, y'all. We are on a roll. Like, I really didn't expect for God to bless me with so many people that wanted to be interviewed that we could keep going on and on and on every week. So, shout out to all of you melanated individuals that are supporting me. And I'm thankful because I get to support you too. Anyways, I know you guys are like, where is the normal background that Paris is on? Where is it at? Well, y'all, remember how we talked about last week, how we shouldn't tell people our dreams and our plans too soon? Remember that? Well, if we close, if you check on me often, then you know where I am. If not, then okay. But today, we're gonna record on this blank canvas, okay? Normally I have something behind me with beautiful crowns, okay? But today this is a blank canvas. And it's so funny because, well, I'm gonna tell you guys who I'm gonna interview later on. But of course, as you always know, I have a message for all of you melanated individuals and even the non-melanated individuals that are watching. What is it about today? Ooh, okay. Well, today, y'all, we're going to talk about trash. Trash. Why are we talking about trash, you may ask? Well, as you know, every week we got to take our trash out, right? And it smells. It's disgusting. I have a baby, and I don't use regular diapers. I use cloth diapers, but when I used to use regular diapers, those things stoink. They stank, y'all. Like, they were so bad. I'm pretty sure some of us that make seafood, it stinks, right? Well, sometimes in our life, we have people that smell, that are smelling up our future, that are smelling up the destiny that God has placed in front of us. And sometimes we hold so strongly onto those people because we've gained a certain bond with them. And we think if we let them go, that we will not be able to continue the journey and the life path that God has for us. But the thing is, you have to recognize when some things are golden and some things are not golden, which is the trash. Sometimes you have to pick and choose, and it's okay to be picky with your life. Because if you aren't picky with your life, then how are you going to succeed? How are you going to, climb the highest heights, climb to the highest mountain? I really don't know. And so throughout my life, I'm 22, if y'all didn't know, but throughout my life, I've had to decide who is for me and who is against me. Remember last week we talked about, I think it was I'm going to figure out the verse, y'all, okay? But, and I'll say it in the, when we come back after the interview, I'll remind you guys, but it was in Jeremiah. And the scripture basically says, for I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to give you a proper future, right? And so in order to be able to have a proper future, we must be able to decide when and when not we should have certain things. And it's not just people, y'all. It could be, an addiction you might have. It might be maybe a job you might have. Maybe the certain career path that you may have picked, right? And sometimes we may be too afraid to take that leap of what? That leap of faith. Every week I always talk about having faith as small as a mustard seed, right? And so if we have that faith as small as a mustard seed, then we will be able to move those mountains. And we won't have to worry about who is for us and who is against us, because the only thing that we should be worrying about is God, because he is always going to be for us, and we're never going to have to throw God out. So make sure, kings and queens, that you always put God in your life first. Remember in 2 Kings chapter 4, and I know I'm always talking about these three verses, these three scriptures all the time, but remember in 2 Kings chapter 4, how God allowed the oil to overflow, and how God allowed that to happen because she finally had faith. So just know, if you have to take people out your life, God is going to allow it to overflow in you. God is going to allow miracles to happen. Remember, for I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord. So I can tell you, as an honest testimony, that God has taken things out of my life that I did not want to be taken out of my life. But when I thought that my cup was empty, God poured into me and overflowed it, so much so that I didn't know that those toxic things, the toxic waste, the trash, the things that smelled so bad in my life were missing. I didn't know, because he blessed me, because I had that faith. And I'm not saying I always had faith in God. I mean, of course I always had faith in God, but my faith was not strong. And so make sure when you're making the decision to remove things out your life that are toxic waste, make sure that your faith is strong in God, because he will bless you without a doubt. God will always bring you out. Anyways, I could talk about this forever, but I know you guys are not here to see me talk. I know you guys are here to see what melanated individual I have today. And I have a very, very special melanated individual. I say that every week, but I knew this person before I was born, y'all. My mom taught him, I believe, kindergarten, first grade. His mom taught me in high school. She was my Bible teacher. So like our families go way, way, way back. Okay. Like back. And it's so crazy because the time that I'm going to, present his interview to you guys, I'm on a blank canvas. Normally I'm on something, like I said, that is, crown, royalty, but today I'm on a blank canvas. And it's funny that we're talking about trash as well. Because the thing is, some of the things that he has done with his artwork may look like trash to other people. But even when he gets bored of that one painting, he creates it to be something brand new. And so, I guess what I'm trying to say, y'all, is trash is not always trash. Like I said, throw it away and God's going to make it brand new. Be so willing to allow God to make your life a blank canvas and let him paint for you. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this interview with I guess you could say a longtime family friend, person I knew before I was born, Jyremy Reid. And I will see you guys after the interview. Bye.
Good. Hi, y'all. It's me, your girl, Patty, and this is Let's Talk with Paris Hawk V.I.B.E. As you already know, today I have a very, very special guest that I've actually known from low-key before I was born, Jyremy Reid. He is a phenomenal artist, and I'm pretty sure more than that. You know, if you guys have already seen some interviews, you know that the people I interview don't like to brag on themselves, but I'm going to tell you right now to brag on yourself. So Jyremy, thank you for being here today. Thank you for taking your time out to be here. And I'm going to let you take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey.
Okay, so yeah, thank you, Paris, for having me on the show. I originally born in Atlanta, Georgia, raised, went to Oakland University in Huntsville, got a couple degrees out there in communication and graphic design, then got my master's from La Sierra. As far as art goes, been doing it since I was like 3. Taught myself pretty much everything. Of course, I got tips and things throughout life, but just a lot of this, really over 20 years of frustration, and then finally you see it like work together, because when it comes to things like art or any craft, it really does. It takes your time. It takes how much you're willing to put in the work for it to be the best at your craft. And so so when it comes to like drawing, yeah, I've been doing that longer. Painting, only been painting since 2016. So that's a little less.
You're a pro.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, really, honestly, it was November 2016. I finally was like, okay, let me stop, avoiding it. Let me get into painting. Painting was like a different challenge, because aside from the pencil, you have to, pencil has more control. The paint, it's a lot more complex with the paintbrush, blending and things like that, getting the right colors to mix together, all that. So when you finally grasp that and finally come up with a style that people can see and then be like, oh, such and such did that, then you started to, you're really well on your path and people can decipher your work. So yeah.
Right. And that's a painting that you did right behind you, right?
Yeah.
That's really dope.
For it. I still figuring that out, but yeah, it's 3 years old actually. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, you seem like you got it figured out to me. I mean, I see a lot of different colors. If I was doing, I'd probably just like put different dots on a paper. I don't know, but wow. Say it again.
I end up making something. You never know. So
you never know. I might be able to be a genius like you. Like, okay, God. But yeah, okay. So you told us about how you got started and everything. You said you didn't really say how you got started. You said you got started at the age of 3, but how did you get started? Like, did your mom give you some or dad give you some pen and paper? Like, what happened to make you say, wow, I like art, let me pursue this?
Right. So I mean, the way my mom recants it is, you're 3 years old, you just got a lot of energy. So she just she gave me crayons or something.
Okay.
The crayons transitioned to pencils. And then, growing up, I was known as in, elementary school as the artistic person.
Oh, wow.
Always followed me.
Right.
Pardon me?
Okay, and clearly they were right.
Yeah. It's literally followed me my entire life. At every place I've been, it's the craziest thing. It's like if I go to a new job, instantly that's one of the skill sets that pops out first. Really. And especially even in like college and grad school, it's even crazier because it's like it's a bigger scene. She would not think, you would get as, known like that, but it's like, when I went to Oakwood, quickly got known for that. And then
of course, yeah.
And at La Sierra, that's when I was also really flourishing in that area, which is where I started painting and stuff, doing, live shows and stuff. I haven't done that in a minute because, well, life gets busy, but.
When V.I.B.E has a live show,
Mhm.
you'll be here. So.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, really just my mom, I'll say my mom especially, she encouraged this a lot by just giving me all these books. Before YouTube, was reading books and following the little by step things and stuff. And then, and then the thing with art is you have to also get out of a comparative mindset because, you'll think you're good and then you see someone else's stuff and then you're thinking, dang, I thought I was the stuff. And so also battling that mindset from way younger was also a thing, and realizing that I'm on my own path and everyone's gonna have their own opinion. So whether you think or not, it doesn't matter to me. So, so yeah. So yeah, when YouTube came out, that was great because I could follow certain artists and then just really just getting different resources and things like that. That's how I cultivated. The way I do is just I just observe what other people do and I copy it in a sense, try to get my own way of doing it so it fits into what I'm trying to do for myself. So type of thing.
Right. Wow. Yeah, you definitely have gotten there. Shout out to YouTube, shout out to your mom, shout out to other people for you. I guess you've also talked about, where you got your inspiration from a little bit, but what made you start wanting to make money off of this? What was your inspiration to just fully flourish in it other than maybe, getting out there in college, getting out there when you were working? What made you say, wow, okay, I got this. Let me, I don't know if you use this as a business or side hustle, whatever you use it for. Either way, it's amazing. What made you just boom?
Yeah. I would say college, definitely. When I got in college, I was, seeing that, my stuff was getting published in certain things. It was like, oh, cool, it's extra stuff. So it's like when people want, people see value in you, they're willing to pay. So I'm just really seeing that. I do like to keep boundaries with it though, because I don't want to feel like this is a job,
Right.
And I think that's important when you have a passion or purpose for things to keep it balanced for yourself so you don't end up hating it and resenting it. Because at the end of the day, you can tell people no if you're not doing things, because for me, I've realized too, if you have things that you like, certain subjects that you like,
right,
then tell people those are the subjects that you really are into. Those are what your specific, your specialty.
Your niche, or did I say that word right?
Yeah, your niche, whatever, so for me, faces and things like that really excite me more than architectural things. I'll do it, but it's because I have to be so precise, it's not as fun for me. Even though I used to want to be an architect, it's funny.
Wow.
The math was a turnoff, so yeah. But
yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but really seeing that this can be something that I love to do and make money. Yeah, definitely. It's been a drought right now because obviously pandemic and stuff, but also my priorities kind of shifted. So it's like if I'm not painting, then it's not like I'm not doing anything else. I have other artistic skill sets that I hone in on when I'm not.
Do tell. What are the artistic skill sets?
Like right now, graphic design, since that's part of my job.
I was gonna ask. You don't have to tell us, but I know you were saying that you went to school for graphic design and other things, but I mean, this kind of coincides with the question of what graphic designing do you do, but what do you do for work? Like, does your hobbies or whatever, does your interest, is that what you do for work? So yeah, what?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a communication specialist for my the church conference office out here in Virginia.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, pretty much all my skill sets are used: writing and photography and video now, graphic design, even editing for video, stuff like that. Just all these things that you have to learn. It's when you're in communication, you just have to kind of really have your hand in a lot of different things at some point. Like,
yeah, I realized that. I definitely realized that because, well, I didn't finish, but at Oakwood I did do communications, and even without finishing that degree, I can definitely say, I mean, I use like my business is photography, event coordinating, and graphic design, but I'm over here producing V.I.B.E, and then some people want me to manage their social media and do their websites, and I'm like, to do one thing, but it's like you can never step away from everything if that's your mindset. Like, that's what happens with being great.
Yeah.
And clearly you're great because you're doing all that.
I try. I'm still growing though. I'll say, like, I'm a perfectionist, so it's really like that's a mold that it's an everyday mental battle when you're creating something.
Yes.
Like, I'll think something's okay that I make, but everybody else will be like, "Oh, it's great." I mean, not even trying to like gas or anything. It's just like that's how my mind usually works. Some of my certain things I make, like this is one of the rare paintings I have made that when I look at it, it's like, okay, I'm still satisfied even after 3 years. It's like,
yeah,
some things that I would do differently, and I might alter it a little bit because actually. This painting particularly was not the original concept that it was meant for. Like, I painted something completely different and I hated it, so I painted over it with
I wish you had like brought some before and after pictures. That would have been dope.
Yeah, I pretty much all my paintings are like that. But
well, if you do have some before and after pictures, maybe you could send it to me so I could put it in the show. That would be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. My friends, they trip out when I put a video up of me destroying a painting. They're like, "Oh my gosh, why would you do that?" I'm like, "It's gonna be better."
But it's just like life, life life can be full of just full of mess. It can be full of trash. It can be full of different colors, and just it can just be not perfect. But the thing is that God can make whatever you go through, whatever you have been through, whether it's a roadblock in life with school or financial issue, he can make it into a masterpiece. And we are God's masterpiece. And so you're not necessarily destroying it. You're just making it into something that's beautiful. You're just making it into something that's brand new. And it's just like, Matthew chapter 17, verse 20, it says, if your faith is as small as a mustard seed, then with God, you can move mountains. And so in that, it just shows that it looked like you couldn't do it. You started off with just making mistakes with your paintings. You started off with trying to just play around and, following YouTube videos. But you had that faith in yourself and you knew that's what you wanted to pursue. And so you kept working at it. And now it went from, I can't even tell what it was, the eyes. I don't know, whatever that painting was, but it went from that to this beautiful masterpiece that just stands out there. And I'm pretty sure whatever you add on to it, it will be beautiful. Just like whatever God adds onto your life, it may be beautiful. I'm pretty sure when you moved out there to Virginia, right? Yeah. And it was hard because you were probably down south all your life with people that you're familiar with, and it got hard and life got, but now you are on like now you have a steady schedule. Like I watch your Instagram, like I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but you seem like you have like, you're more comfortable with where you're in. And sometimes God needs to cause discomfort. And sometimes God needs to cause distress, like you cause distress in the painting in order for it to not be a mess, but a masterpiece. And so anyway, I'm sorry, I took over what you were saying. Continue.
That was good. Right? That was a word right there.
Yeah.
Like,
So what was that painting for?
What, this?
Yes.
Or, oh, it's just for fun, really. I mean, hey, I don't have to pay another artist to paint for me for my apartments. So it's like, this is my favorite painting. So I have it specifically right above my TV because I'm always in front of my TV when I'm not, doing anything else. Usually playing my video games on the PlayStation, but it's usually, I just like it because blue is a very calming color, so it's nice to look at. And I just really love the eyes and what they're, how the expression is. You can tell a lot from the eyes. Eyes are like my favorite place to start when I do portrait. It's always start with the eyes first because that's how you tell who the person is. And so
I mean, that's how we told how everyone was during this pandemic of wearing masks. I mean, sure. But I might actually have to get you. I have an idea circulating in my head. When you're an artist and you're talking to another artist, and like your brain circles. So I definitely have an idea that I want for V.I.B.E. We'll talk about that off camera because we're not gonna let anyone steal that idea. Sneak peek, y'all. Okay. So another question: Would you ever like do this full time? I know you always said you're already kind of using your gifts, but there's been times when I've used my gifts, but it's different when you're doing something you love. Like, I was telling you like my story in the beginning, and I'm pretty sure you heard it on like the first episode of V.I.B.E. But well, didn't tell my full story on the first episode, but it's like kind of a sneak peek. And like, I struggled for a while with God wanting me to quit my job and everything. But once I did, I felt so free, and God was giving me signs, and God gave me a dream, just like he gave Joseph in the Bible a dream. And Joseph told his dream too early. That's something wrong these days. You tell your dream too early. And Joseph was in captivity for 14 years. And like I had said in the first episode, God told me when my son was 6 months to leave my job and to start pursuing my dream. He didn't say never to go back to a 9-to-5. He just said leave it temporarily. And as of yesterday, I had went on a fast for a week. And as of yesterday, that makes 14 months since God told me to leave my job, and I left it a month before V.I.B.E. relaunch. And I don't know about you, but I see that as something crazy. Joseph had to see the promise that God had for him after 14 years. When I finally listened to God, I didn't realize it until after I was almost like after I started the fast, that from when my son was 6 months until July 4th, 2021, that is 14 months. And I just think that's a significant number because, God's been showing me Joseph so many times in my life, like every single time. And I really knew that God had really said, this is what I want you to do. Now I don't call it visions, but I did start calling it a vision because literally God told me that day that I went on the fast, if you go on this fast. Now, I don't know if you remember, I used to have chronic body pains and whatnot. I don't know if you ever, I think we talked about it once before, but yeah, I had chronic body pains. And also my son, he has like an issue between his hip and his knee. And basically, when I went on that fast at Bible study that night, exactly what was in my vision, God said, and this never happens at Bible study. Normally we just sit down, talk, read the Bible, this, that, and the other. Like a normal Bible study. They literally placed their hands on me and my son and prayed for God's healing. Now, I can tell you, I get chronic body pains almost every day. Within the past week, I've only had body pains for 3 hours out of that whole time. Normally I get it every day. And that Monday, my son's x-rays, man, I keep forgetting to to show it on one of the interviews, but literally, no joke, there's no issue. It's gone. Like literally in the x-ray, you can't see any issue in my son's hip and knee. And so sometimes you have to act on the silly things that people think are silly. And sometimes you have to act on, now I'm not saying like, I'm going to get back to the question that I asked you, but, sometimes you have to act on what people may think is silly to see God sustain you, because I've been through 3 different jobs in the past year. And I'm like, God, why would you allow me to quit this job? I'm raising my child by myself. I get no child support. My mom and brother helped me, thank God. But why would you have me struggle? And it's so funny because I had a seasonal job. That seasonal job ended a month before my contract was up. Why would you do that, God? I had to get another job, that working from home. That job, they didn't pay me for 3 months. Why, God? I had another job. I was making almost $1,000 per week. That's good money from working from home. God took it away from me. And so, hold on, my battery's dying on my laptop. But, well, I'm gonna get back up in a second to let you answer the question. But, it just shows me that sometimes one second, hold on, I'm sorry.
You're good.
All right, viewers, I'm always prepared, okay? That was just a fluke. But it just shows that sometimes you can't listen to what other people say. I even told some of my family members yesterday at the barbecue that I was at, and they were like, I understand, but I'm like, look, I get what you're saying too. And they're like decades older than me. And so, it's important to listen to your elders.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, why has God allowed me to not why has God allowed me to not go through have a good job or whatever that actually lasts me? Why has he allowed that? But yet when I quit my job, I immediately felt a sense of peace, a sense of freedom, a sense of joy. It is so crazy. Like it feels so good. And I have to tell the rest of my story, but and I didn't tell this on the first episode. And again, I'm talking a lot, but I didn't say this on the first episode, but actually my account it had money in it, but I didn't want to tell my story of what happened to me. I didn't want to tell my story of everything that went on because I was embarrassed. But God kept testing me. And I don't know if like your bank account sometimes like has money in it, and then but like the bank holds it, right? My bank never does that, but this is the one time that they did it. And when I went to the car and said, God, I just want to go home, I don't want to tell my story, he said, look at your phone. And I said, I don't want to look at my phone because I'm trying to be in reverence and prepare for Bible study. He said, look at your phone. Now I have 2 bank accounts. This particular bank account had a couple of hundreds of dollars in it. But when I looked in it, it had negative $1.39. And I'm like, God, are like, sometimes I call God crazy. Why? And so in that time, I definitely decided, okay, God, you're testing me. And I began to tell my story at Bible study, and I began to tell them how like the reason I had I had in high school was molested twice, and how I had depression, and how I had lost my dad when I was 10. And the reason I had got with my ex is because I committed sexual sin, even though I told God I wanted to be abstinent until marriage. And that's why I was with him. And I had told them about how I had quit my job. And even I was like, I don't want to tell them that I, like my accounts was this. And I began telling them all that. And so many people were saying, I'm dealing with sexual sin. I needed to hear that. I'm dealing with this. I needed to hear that. I've been wanting to pursue my dreams. I need to hear that. I'm like, you never know that your story may bless someone else. And basically they sent me cash apps, and when I only really know like 2-3 people from the Bible study really well. But anyways, I talk a lot. So that I just said that to say, I don't know if God is ever giving you a sign, but I always like to tell people about my story now, ever since I went on that fast, because it's just like God sustained me. And this was a week ago. But this was a week ago, and I know it's not a lot of money, but my account now has over $500. That's a lot of money compared to negative $1.39.
Yeah.
Okay, God sustains you. God really sustains you. And like I was telling you today, like I'm booked today. I got like 4 or 5 interviews for V.I.B.E. That wouldn't have happened. And so, anyways, please let me know, if you ever had a sign from God to pursue your dream. I know you said you don't want to make this a job, but
yeah,
sometimes you don't have to make a job. You can still have fun with it. So anyway, that was a long story.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I mean, I see career and job as a different thing. When I say job, I don't want to feel like it's a burden. But yeah, I'll say maybe 2018, I just really got, really inspired of like, okay, this is something I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I mean, I'm not, I won't, right now I'm in a phase where just, doing the 9 to 5 thing right now. But, and I haven't really painted anything this entire year, really at all, which I was concerned about. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Last week I started back on a painting that I didn't finish, just to get myself back into it. And, for some reason, it's like, yeah, it was good, but, I ran out of energy real quick. I was like, what's going on here? It's funny because this year, I mean, my focus has really been on like fitness. So it's like, hitting the gym and stuff, my health and all that. That's mainly been what's been more interesting to me right now. So it's not that.
Nothing wrong with that. Maybe you could use your fitness journey and your art skills together. Maybe God's preparing you to do that. You never know. So there's nothing wrong with that, with putting a pause on your art. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. And so that's why, I know even, it's the second half of the year. I feel like I'll get some steam back up.
Mm-hmm.
First, it's pretty just dry, but a lot of things happen in the first half of the year. So it's a lot of different things I was dealing with and things like that. Especially, I just felt impressed by God to just take a break. Really, it was really in April where I was working on all these things, feeling guilty of not getting to certain projects, personal ones, and I got an opportunity to go to Hawaii with some family, and which I didn't think. I was like, I don't have time for that. But it was like, God was, impressed me, and so He made a way for me to go on this trip, which it was needed. The phase I'm in right now is just, I feel like God's telling me to take a rest right now from these things for a couple months, which I have. May and June, I just really barely touched anything. July, I want to get back into it, and it's only July 5th, so it's not like this month is super deep into it right now. But this week, I'm forcing myself to again pick up different, old paintings from last year that I just didn't finish. Which I have a lot of those. I have a lot of unfinished paintings that I have started, and then it's like, just stop. Usually what happens, I don't know, I usually may get bored of it, or I'm just like, I'll revisit it when I'm more interested, which usually takes months sometimes.
Mm-hmm, right.
So for me, it's dangerous to like just stop like that, because other things will come in and things like that. It's really hard when you work a full-time job, 10 hours.
Yeah. So, 10 hours. Whew. God.
And then you come back, previous job, less hours.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was still excited to come back home and create something.
Right.
And, I was really just trying to find a new routine. And even then, I didn't have a dog. So that's another thing that takes a lot of your time and
Baby, so
energy.
I understand.
I mean, at this point, yeah, she's a year and a half, so thank goodness, because when she was just a puppy, good grief, that was like, I did not want
I can totally understand that. My son's a year and a half. They're more independent. Dogs and babies, they're more independent. At a year.
yeah, yeah, like, and they, you know, yeah, I was happy because, at least with dogs, they grow up faster. So it's like, cool.
See, you have me beat by there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing. You got like at least, 6 or 7 years until
Oh,
fully
Lord.
things a child.
Don't remind me.
Hey, keep the faith.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely interesting what you were saying about, how you wanted to take a break on, certain things. And I know I told my story. It's not a story to say, take this on full time. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I just didn't know if you were getting a sign from God, but it seems that you are getting a sign from God, just maybe not about doing this full time. I think your sign from God, like you were saying, is to wait. And the thing is, in American culture, we tend to feel like we need instant gratification.
Yeah.
And that's not good. And so I feel like God is telling you to take an example, a page from other cultures' book. And in other cultures, they tend to let things not drag out, but drag out in a way. The thing is, whether it takes you a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to get back to painting, hopefully not, because I mean, hopefully not.
I wouldn't let that. Nah.
Right. But whether it takes you that long to get back on your feet, or whether you never get back on your feet with that again, whether maybe God's preparing you for some other dream and that He once has in His plans for you. Maybe you need to take the mindset of, sometimes it's just like a tree. When you plant a tree, do you see it sprout immediately? No. When you see, for the women watching, y'all know when y'all are pregnant, y'all want that baby to come out right then and there? Does it come out? No. Did you get that degree that you wanted, that master's degree that you wanted right away? No, you had to go through all the other steps to get there. And that's what maybe you need to focus on. Maybe God is asking you to trust in Him, and instead of fast track what He has for you, just like Joseph's dream. Joseph was disobedient, so it took 14 years. But, maybe God is saying that you have to wait and you have to sit on the promise that He has for you. And in that time, He's going to prepare you to do so much more. I mean, you think that painting behind you is amazing? Oh, no. Compared to what God has planned for you. And I'm not saying that, like, don't come for me in the comments, y'all, when I say his pain is horrible. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, compared to what God has planned for you, that is a penny compared to the gold that God is going to bless you with. And so I do believe that God has given you a sign, the sign that He gave me. But when God does give you that sign to possibly quit your job, or to pursue other plans, or to move to another country, or to take that step in life to follow the dreams that, maybe it's graphic design, photography. I want you to make sure that you follow God's voice, because God speaks to me, just like God spoke to me with, God ruined my life by making my account go from hundreds to $1.39 in the negative $1.39. Don't let your life get to where I went to, okay? Don't let God take away. Like I said, I had a great job, and they weren't paying me for 3 months. Now, they have paid me, but it's been like February to now. They just paid me the rest of the money as of past Saturday, which God, you crazy God. But don't let it get to that point in life where God has to test you for you to say, okay, I'm going to follow the plans that you have for me.
Mhm.
But yeah, so, anyways, I'm sorry, I preach a lot, but
Good.
yeah. So, are there any, oh my gosh, my, I don't know if y'all hear my child. 1 second, y'all. Okay, y'all, sorry. Disclaimer, I do work from home and I do have a child, but y'all should already know that, okay? The blessings of working at home. But yeah, are there any pros and cons, any advice that you can give to someone that wants to be a budding artist that may not have had the mother and YouTube that you had to start with at 3 years old? Maybe some people may be starting at, what are you, 27?
Yeah.
28. Okay,
Yeah.
did I miss your birthday? I'm sorry. But yes, is there any, like, some people maybe when to start at 28 versus 3 years old, they may be 60, So what advice can you give them, or what pros and cons can you give them to kind of avoid?
Definitely give yourself patience, because people think that they are that they do something really well and they think they've made it and they don't have to improve on it anymore. And the thing is, if you're really serious about it, you'll want to keep getting better. And whatever that better is for you is whatever it is for you. It doesn't.
Don't follow someone else's path. Follow your own, and follow the one that God has for you.
Right. Also, just be get okay with criticism on things.
Yeah.
Constructive criticism. Don't
Yeah, I was
listen
going to say constructive, not regular, constructive.
to constructive. I mean, either though, other criticism, that's going to happen, and don't throw you off. You have to have faith in your own ability that what they're saying is really just their opinion, and you know what you brought to the table or bring, and so things like that. And then don't be hard on yourself if you're like in a season like myself. I haven't really created, but I'm not. I know I can still do it. It's not if you put all the time in, you're not just gonna lose everything you've worked overnight.
Right.
I have the ability to do it. Now if I, don't, go years or anything, because then you may actually lose it, so.
But look, Joseph went 14 years, and look, God still had a promise and a plan for him. So you never know. May not be your ideal situation, but it's God's ideal situation for you.
Yeah. And so, it's just really just enjoy the process of getting to where you're trying to be. Then over time, just be open to changing up some things or adding in new things, challenging yourself. If you're not challenging yourself, you can't get better. So that's pretty much what it comes to. And eventually, the right opportunities will come when you especially put God first. And you have to just be open for those opportunities. And you have to also put yourself in places where you want to be marketed better. So
make yourself uncomfortable. You can't get comfort without discomfort.
Right. And network with other people. I'm revamping my site. I've been saying this for months, but it's going to be revamped. When it is, I'll let you all know. But
if you need someone to revamp it for you, I know you got it. But if you need someone, hire Paris Hawk Productions LLC. I got you.
Oh well, there we go. So we're good. But we're good there. So site's coming this year because I just need to get back into this groove of it. It's just, again, I have so many ideas I want to paint. It just comes down to having the energy and also just the discipline to just sit there, because people think that artists just want to sit down all the time and paint. It's like, no, some days I literally don't want to sit there for hours and do, painting a face and all that. It's not just, oh, slap it on there. Like people just think, oh, you can just do that quickly. It's like, no, it literally takes hours, to, certain skin tones, especially if you're just getting back into it. I know when I have my technique, but it's going to take me, I noticed when I got back, I was like, I still had to, warm up, still have to warm up. I've been a little stiff, but once I get out of that mode, it's like, oh, it's nothing. So really getting into that place. So that's really what I would say.
Yeah, definitely. That's some definitely great advice. For those who may want to, paint like him, maybe not paint like him, but have your own style, but at least you use him as an inspiration. First, before I tell everyone where they can find you, can you show us some of your work? I see you have a canvas back there. Let me see. I've been staring at it.
So this is one of my other ones. You can see I do these. It's kind of like a theme with these two together type of thing.
Yeah.
Mask and everything. I love it. This is another painting that was. What was that?
I say you did mask before Corona.
Yeah, 2019. So I was a year ahead. So got that. This is one I did last year.
Wow.
So yeah, this one I'm really proud of. I really went out of my comfort zone with this one because I really wanted that realistic look. So I for a weekend and that one, still got a.
Wait, is the moon like the world? Like I see, is that like the world and the moon together?
No, it's the earth. It's being created. So.
Oh, creation. Oh, wow. Wow. And that's like God's hand.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And you're right. That's something new because I haven't seen you do a painting like that before.
This is another one I did.
Oh, wow. I definitely need to get a class because.
It's another one I did.
Oh, yeah, those look realistic. I like your realistic ones. I didn't know you did that style.
That was last year. So I mean, it just comes from growing.
Growing pains.
Yeah, goal, and it doesn't feel good in the moment, but you get it done. So.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's awesome. Like I said, V.I.B.E would definitely love to work with you. And if you need that website done, then Paris Hawk Productions LLC. I got you. I'll text you after. But for sure. Thank you so much for taking your time out today. I know the interview went a little bit over, or maybe a lot over what we intended to, but we were led by God. We weren't led by our own plans. And are there any sneak peeks that you can give us about, you or your upcoming work or anything like that?
Really just the website. That's really right now. I mean, I am working on a graphic novel. I'm not going to say too much on that right now. That's another thing that's been taking my time.
Does it have Spider-Man in it?
No, it has nothing to do with.
He's obsessed with Spider-Man, y'all. So that was an inside joke.
No, it has nothing to do with that. But it's a work in progress. Been working on it for years. So that's another reason why painting has really not been my priority. That my novel is taking time, and I haven't touched it in about 2 months. So, and that was the thing I was feeling guilty about. So it's like, this month I want to pick it back up because I do want to get it done. Potentially by 2023, we'll say that. Like that's enough time because that's when I'm 30. I would like to have my first book done by 30. So, we'll see if I can stay on course.
Look, like I said, maybe this is God's plan for you to finish that novel, and
Yeah.
But yes, can you tell us where you can, where we can all find you and look at your work, or maybe if someone is inspired, I don't know if you like take messages from people that want to be an artist, but just where can we find you? Where can we see all these awesome paintings?
So I do have an art Instagram. Right now it's deactivated just because social media is a lot sometimes. So I have my main page. People can go. It's at Jyremy, spelled like my first name, Jyremy. But yeah, I usually post things on there. You can see some things throughout some of my pictures or in my story archives on my page. But the other one I've deactivated right now just because just having two pages, that was a lot of just.
I have three.
Oh yeah.
And I'm over it. I'm over it right now.
Yeah, so I was like, I can only do one right now, and so I chose to do that one. Just stick with my main one that has just more of my life stuff and more of a mix of art, whatever I'm into, and all that. But I will, I'll get the other one back up running.
Yeah.
Here probably by later this summer. It's just right now. I was posting on it like every week at a certain point last year, and that just got a little tiring. So altogether, I kind of just stepped away from all that for a bit, and now I'm just reevaluating myself really just right now. And so it all starts with me getting back to this novel. I get back to that. That's really more of my priority at this time in terms of the art, and it's a different type of art. It's traditional, just cards, comic book type of thing. So just getting these layouts and stuff, that's already a difficult task. I have a lot of respect for comic book artists. Yeah. But so yeah, when it's done, I'll be so happy. It's been years working on this thing. So yeah, we'll see.
Wow. Well, I look forward to seeing the novel. And I look forward to, whenever you decide to, showcase your paintings. If you don't, that's okay too. But I look forward to eventually working with you in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming on V.I.B.E today. And remember that you are a king. You are a virtuous individual, Black excellence. You are of V.I.B.E, as you see behind me. Maybe it can move up way. Okay. Yes, you are definitely a V.I.B.E. And yeah, like I said, y'all, we go way back. My mom used to teach you in elementary school, and his mom taught me in high school. So yeah, it was so awesome to be able to know, I guess, well-known artists. I mean, I don't know people that actually paint like this that are not popular. So yeah, it's super cool. But yes, thank you so much, Jyremy. We hope to have you back again for your novel. We'll interview for your novel, for all of your other skills. Anyway, yes, everyone, remember, like I said about him, you are also a virtuous individual, Black excellent king and queen. You are royalty. Don't forget you are Black gold. Don't let anyone tell you different. And remember to always wear your crown, and don't let anyone take it off, because I'll come for them, okay? All right, bye, everyone.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that interview that I had with Jyremy Reid. And you guys can see, I don't even have to tell you guys, those paintings were amazing. Like, V.I.B.E definitely has to work with you. V.I.B E cannot wait to work with you. We've already talked off, outside of the interview, and you know what's up. Okay, you about to make V.I.B E dripping Black excellence even more. And if any of you melanated individuals would like to work with V.I.B E, let me know, okay? I support you, you support me, we support each other because we are a community, all right? Anyways, before I sign off for today, everyone, I just want to remind you that God has plans for you, which Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 says. Okay, God has plans for you. Allow your life to be like this door, white, washed clean, a blank canvas, so that God can strategically write out the plans and take his paintbrush and, it may look crazy at first. It may look wild, but God is wild, okay? He said he was going to come down to this earth and create us, humans, okay? Look, if I look good, I know you look good. We all look good, okay? So allow yourself to have that Matthew 17 verse 20 faith and allow God to pour into you. Like 2 Kings chapter 4 says, I know I'm always repeating these scriptures, but it is so important to me. And I'm going to keep finding more scriptures to pour into you guys because I can't live without the word of God. That is nothing you should ever live without. And when you are enveloped in God's light, enveloped in his love, then he's going to splash your canvas. And the trash that was in your life, it's not going to even seem like it was toxic waste. So my friends, I hope that you have learned something from my struggles and all the other melanated individuals that I have interviewed so far, their struggles. And I hope you know that you can do whatever you put your mind to with God's help. And also, before I sign off, I want to remind you guys to, of course, support Jyremy. Okay, but support V.I.B.E. Please, we need you. Okay, we need each other. We're a community. If we don't support each other, how are we going to expect other people to support us? Right now, I know you guys normally see me wearing the V-neck of our merchandise, but today I am wearing the crew neck. Okay, this is the guys' version. Women can also get crew neck. Just ask, but this is the guys' version, okay? Remember, we have masks and we have shirts that come in V-neck and crew neck. And I think on the back, okay, you guys can't see, I'm a little short, but on the back, optional, you can get on your shirt saying, I am black, what? Excellence, because you are black excellence, baby. You are black gold. Don't know if you have been told. And you can visit my website at Paris Hawk Productions, LLC, /V.I.B.E show. That's Paris Hawk Productions LLC /vibeshow.com. The link will be down below. Okay, support me, y'all. Okay, and if you guys want a discount code, also check down below. Or actually, I'm gonna leave it in my Instagram, so y'all gotta go to Instagram to get the discount code. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in and vibing with me today, baby. Remember that you are black gold, and if you would like to be featured, whether you're a business owner, a veteran, a singer, a dancer, and more, I would love to feature you. All right, everybody, see you next week, same time, Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, my name is Paris Hawk, and I'll see you next week. Bye. If you're a Black business owner, poet, dancer, singer, and more, then please email me at vibeshow18@gmail.com. Again, the email is vibeshow18@gmail.com. Can't wait to feature you. Bye. This show is produced by Paris Hawk Productions, LLC.